SES as well. So we'll relight for second engine start number 2 here in about 10 seconds, and that burn will not be 6 minutes, but will be 1 minute instead.
Second stage we're doing that right now. There it is.
Heard good power and good motion. So that signifies a good SES-2, a good second engine startup. Again, this lasts for about a minute, and this burn will bring the velocity of second stage and the SES-12 from low Earth orbit at around 7.4 kilometers per second to over 9.5 kilometers per second. That is extremely fast. And that is brought to you by 210,000 pounds of thrust that this MVAC-D engine puts out. It also adds a lot of impulse in a very short amount of time. Impulse is the measure of efficiency. It's kind of like the gas mileage for rocket engines. So we're now going to conclude this burn in about 30 seconds or so, and that will be SECO-2, second engine cutoff number 2. And then we'll break for a few minutes before we attempt to deploy SES-12. And that clapping that you can hear in the background signifies that we did have successful SECO-2, second engine cutoff. So with that large delta V from that second and final burn, we now wait for a few minutes before we actually attempt to deploy SES-12 into its geostationary transfer orbit. So we'll return to that in about 2 minutes.
Oh, look at that extra Earth. Oh, look at that. Look at the Earth. It's right there.
SES-12, which is about to deploy, was manufactured by Airbus. You may know them from their commercial airplanes, but they are also a leading manufacturer of telecommunications satellites. Let's take a behind-the-scenes look at the development of the SES-12 satellite, which is set to deploy just a few minutes from now, courtesy of the team over at Airbus.
Never mind all that. Because that's how satellite works. Dang. Most powerful satellite. Boost. Boost. Airbus.
Now, SES-12 is going to ultimately end up in geostationary orbit, but to get it there, second stage is going to put it in what we call geostationary transfer orbit, or GTO. And that's exactly what it sounds like. It's the orbit which transfers the payload to geostationary orbit, or GEO. Now, second stage will deploy SES-12 in an elliptical GTO orbit, and then SES-12 will coast on until it intersects GEO, and then at that point it will use its own onboard thrusters to circularize into its final geostationary orbit. So coming up next, we have these payload adapters which support SES-12, and then springs that are mounted to them, which will enable a gentle push off the deployment of SES-12 coming up in about a minute.
Alright, we're about to deploy satellite right now. 2, 1. There he goes.
And as you hear the callouts on the net and the clapping behind me, and the video footage of SES gracefully floating away, that will bring our webcast to a close. To recap, we had a successful liftoff, a successful stage separation, and continuation of SES-12 into GTO. Now that brings, again, our webcast to a close, and this is also a nice day because it marks the 8th anniversary to the day of the first successful Falcon 9 flight from this same launch pad on June 4th in 2010, so an important legacy day for us. We'd like to thank our customer, SES, for their legacy with our launch platform. We would like to thank the United States Air Force as well as the Range for their continued support. And we would like to thank the FAA for their readiness to license us, as always. Thanks to the viewer for tuning in again, and if you'd like to visit opportunities we have here, please visit spacex.com/careers. You can check for updates on the next mission, as well as other updates from us on our social platforms and our website. Thank you again for joining us this night. We'll see you next time.
Alright. If you guys like this video, don't forget to subscribe, need notifications, and leave a like and leave a comment. This was been a great form mission. This was been a great mission of the SES-12 satellite deploy successful for the second stage of the Falcon 9. So yeah, if you guys like this video, don't forget to subscribe right now. Peace.